Happy Independence Day, everyone! It's time for a brand new Top 5. In honor of this special occasion, what is some of the fundamentals that you think of when you think of Independence Day? Yes, that. And that. And that. There you go. Grilling outside. Get out the old gas grill or charcoal grill and cook up a couple of hot dogs, burgers, and various amounts of other things. And hanging out with your family, sitting outside and watching the fireworks go out. Similar to the episode The Barbecue from Rugrats. Now, when I think of the quintessential food to grill, I always think of burgers instead of hot dogs. I don't know, maybe it's just my preference. However, most of the times we don't get burgers from the grill. We mostly get burgers from other places, most likely fast food restaurants. Places such as McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, In-N-Out Burger, places like that. Now, what does this have to do with Nickelodeon? Well, in recent news, it was reported that there's going to be an actual Krusty Krab opening to the public in Palestine, of all places. If you want to know more information about this, links to the article is in the description box below. And that got me thinking, what other burger joints from Nickelodeon I would love to see open up to the public? It'll be similar to the show, it'll have a similar theme, we can serve the actual food, and who knows, maybe there'll be like little statues of the characters. I decided to compile the top 5 burger joints that was based off of a Nickelodeon show. Let's get started. Number 5. Henry's House of Kaboom from Kablam. As I mentioned in previous occasions, Kablam may be one of the most underrated Nicktoons of the 90s. It's a show that is rarely talked about when it comes to looking back on classic 90s Nicktoons. But nonetheless, if you haven't seen Kablam, I would highly recommend that you check it out. In the episode Won't Stick to Mostly Dental Work, Henry was fed up with June due to constantly mocking him. And what does he do? He decides to quit working as a host on Kablam and decides to open up his own restaurant called Henry's House of Kaboom. From the outside, it kind of looks like your standard diner, but on the inside, it has a mixture between a diner/fancy food restaurant. You see Henry carrying up a giant pepper mill for the customers' meals, and it features some various foods, one of which was the Prometheus Burgers, named after Prometheus and Bob. Other foods that were featured were shiz shakes, action fries, and the really disgusting June pudding. It became so popular that Henry's House of Kaboom was opened in over 50 states, like right towards the middle of the episode. However, it's low on the list for 2 reasons. Is that they mostly featured the action fries more than the Prometheus burgers. Since at the time, Action League Now was the most popular out of the Kablam shorts. Nowadays, most people look back on Prometheus and Bob. And 2, Henry's House of Kaboom was only featured in that one episode. At the end of the episode, while June was playing off a montage of all the good times that she and Henry had together hosting Kablam, and Henry decided to go back and work on Kablam with June. If Henry's House of Kaboom would be open to the actual public, it'll probably look similar to what it did in the show. A diner-looking place with a giant Henry holding up the sign of Henry's House of Kaboom. On the inside, it looked really, really fancy. And you get to have the Prometheus burgers, shiz shakes, and action fries, and various amounts of other foods. Maybe inside the restaurant, maybe we can see like little statues of the characters, or maybe they'll be having like a big screen featuring episodes of Kablam in the background. Or maybe they'll even feature the music that was played in Kablam, such as They Might Be Giants. Who knows? But due to the fact that it was just a one-off gag, Henry's House of Kaboom is low on this list. Number 4, the Shore Shack from Rocket Power. Unlike Henry's House of Kaboom from Kablam, the Shore Shack was featured in multiple episodes of Rocket Power. It's your typical California dive, serving various foods such as burgers, fries, fish tacos, clam chowder, and so much more. Not to mention that it's close to the beach, so as soon as you're done eating your food, you can head over to the waves and do some surfing. And not to mention that the pier and Madtown is really close by, so if you wanted to, you can be able to bike right over there and burn some calories heading over to the pier or to the skating park. Having the Shore Shack would be pretty easy to have. Obviously set it in California, having it look kind of similar to what it was in the show, and, cook off the various foods that were featured, and not to mention have it close to the beach. However, it's not as high as other burger joints on this list is because, well, there's nothing really interesting about the Shore Shack. If you look at it, it's pretty bland. There's not really a main theme food. There's not really an atmosphere just beside the point that it's near the beach. It's just a regular burger shack. But nonetheless, I think it'll be a really interesting idea to have a dive over at California. Who knows, maybe they'll even open it right near Nickelodeon Animation Studios, or maybe in Universal Studios in California. A place to go to when you want to have a bite to eat and then you want to continue enjoying the rides. I'm just saying. And who knows, maybe they'll even feature various things, like maybe they'll have statues of the characters, maybe they'll be playing like 90s rock music in the background. I'm just saying, the Shore Shack would be a pretty interesting place to see, open to the public. Number 3, McMeaties from Invader Zim. Oh man, even though it only featured in a few episodes, this place is insane. Just the fact that pretty much everything is made out of meat. There's pork shakes and meat-flavored fries. If you're a huge carnivorous person, then this is the place for you. And given the fact that anything goes at McMeaties, you can never expect what'll happen. An alien can come by and work at the restaurant, and then all of a sudden he molts like crazy. Or maybe there's a big infestation of germs that are happening. Or maybe planet Mars is about to crash into Earth. Who knows? And not to mention that the burger meat from McMeaties is made out of space meat. I mean, wouldn't that be cool to go around and saying, hey, I just ate space meat over at McMeaties to your friends? It'll be like a regular hangout similar to Chipotle. McMeaties will be a really popular place. I mean, they served 8 billion people. That's even more than the entire population, which is currently 7 billion people. Where's the other billion people coming from? I wonder. Well, if McMeaties were to be open to the public, what would it be like? Well, I don't know, but if I were to think of a designer who would go off and open up a McMeaties to the public, it'll probably be the same people who was behind Hot Topic back in 2006. It'll probably have a gothic exterior filled with Invader Zim and Gurv statues all over the place, and not to mention that you'll probably cook up the traditional, burgers and fries and shakes that they would feature. Just don't make any of them out of meat, and I think we'll be okay. I don't think we'll have any health inspectors come by and shut it down anytime soon. Number 2, the Honker Burger from Doug. Now, this place was featured in multiple times throughout the series of Doug. The Nickelodeon version, of course, because as for the Disney version, it was shut down in the very first episode and replaced by a French restaurant. Boring. Give me the classic diner hangout any day. This seems like the coolest place to go to after school, grab a Honker Burger, Honker Shake, and Honker Fries. Just sit down and talk about what happened throughout the day. There were many awesome episodes of Doug that featured in the Honker Burger. One, of course, is when Doug and Skeeter met up with the Beats. If the Honker Burger were to be opened up to the public, it'll probably look exactly like it does on the show. A regular fast food joint, selling off various burgers and fries and stuff like that. And of course, booths to sit around and hang out with your friends. And would be awesome is we had a giant jukebox in the background. That way we can play off various songs from the Beats. That would be awesome! Which is why, in my opinion, it's pretty high on this list. And the number 1 burger joint from Nickelodeon that I would like to see open to the public is... Come on, what do you think? Next to the Krusty Krab, what other burger joint was really popular in the 90s? Yup, you guessed it. It's Good Burger. What can be said about Good Burger that almost everybody else has already said about it? It was the most popular skit from all that, and they turned it into a freaking movie. Although it was more like a successor to Barth's Burgery from You Can't Do That on Television, which would have also been a candidate for this list had it been not so repulsive looking. Sorry, Barth. I love you. Every kid in the 90s wanted to go into a Good Burger. They wanted to go into a person who looked like Ed, and they wanted to have the Good Burger and the Good Shake and the Good Fries. Pretty much everything that had the word good in it. What is it with the Krusty Krab, Good Burger, and Honker Burger having the words based off of their titles? Honker Burger? Good Burger? Krusty Burger? I don't know. And I think that due to the fact that all that was more like skit-based, it didn't seem like it had enough room to have multiple people. I would think I would more have it along the line of looking like it was in the movie. It had more room, it had a much more classier diner look, and not to mention it had the freaking Good Burger Mobile. Wouldn't it be cool to take a picture near the Good Burger Mobile similar to taking a picture of the DeLorean or the Ecto-1? That would be awesome. That would get a whole bunch of people lined up to go into Good Burger. Maybe we could have a person being an impersonation of Ed and maybe some of the other characters from the show. Or maybe they can play in the background of, Good Burger skits or even the Good Burger movie. Maybe even the soundtrack from Good Burger can be playing in the background if they decide to take a break from playing the skits or the movie. It would have been nice if Good Burger would have opened up back in 1998. Maybe somewhere around Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. That way people could be able to experience the actual show and movie. It seems like it'll never happen. But still, I want to see Good Burger open to the public. It would be so amazing. I could see a lot of potential for Good Burger and all of these other restaurants on the list to be open to the public. It'll bring upon nostalgia for anybody who grew up with these shows, and it might even make Nickelodeon a little bit of money. Those were the top 5 burger joints from Nickelodeon shows that I want to see open. Which burger joints do you want to see open from Nickelodeon? Post down in the comments below. Until then, this has been Patricia. Happy Independence Day, enjoy the fireworks, and thank you for listening.